la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasul. Captain Nabiyyin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There is a open. The sound witness is nothing worthy of worship except Allah. He is one along with our partners, associates. And I also give open a sound witness to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's a slave servant messenger and seal of the Prophet's peace upon the Prophet, upon his descendants, upon his companions, and upon the righteous throughout the world. And peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum. We're forever thankful to Allah, highly glorified as He for once again allowing us to unite for Hadi Jumuah, by which we come to seek His aid, beg for His forgiveness, and more importantly, to beg for His mercy, because He tells us that is the most prevalent attribute that is not just in the Quran, but in His creation. Mercy. And He tells us through Prophet Muhammad that Allah will not have mercy on him who does not have mercy on others. So mercy is very, very important, a principle that can be used to govern our lives, to help us to improve our lives. And I'm thinking about this Quran, and last time we talked about Allah said that He sent His messenger with guidance and Deen al-Haq. He said He sent His messenger with guidance and the religion or the way of truth. We said that was so important because so many lives are going on throughout the world. People's lives are shaped by lies. And if your life is shaped by lies, then you have a weak life. Because the word for lie is that which is weak. We say Allah is Al-Haq. He is the sure reality. He is strength. He is power. He is lasting. And that's what truth is. And if your life is built on truth, you have a firm foundation to stand on. And people like to be around those who speak the truth, even though it may hurt. But no one really gravitates and be satisfied in their soul with a liar. That's why we said the hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said about those who speak the truth and how that truth leads to paradise. See, you live by truth, it creates a certain kind of environment. Happiness, security. And that's what's missing in the world. Happiness, insecurities. He said that lies will lead to hell. And people live lives through lies. They live lives that are very disturbing because it's troubling. See, the lie doesn't feed your soul, but the truth feeds and nurtures your soul. You feel good when you speak truth. It's a liberating force. That's why I always give you the biblical verse. I love that verse. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Anything other than truth is going to lock you up. If the truth sets you free, then lies and falsehood will lock you up. Lock up your potential, lock up your goodness, because it's going to block the goodness from flowing within you. You're going to always trying to think about the next lie, the next lie. So you can't ever be comfortable. So he said that He said in the Quran that He sent His messenger with huda, guidance. The world needs guidance. They have this life and they have no direction. Troubled souls all over the place. Got information but no direction. Allah says that the Quran is guidance without doubt. With no question, this is guidance not just for Muslims. It says it is huda linnas. It is guidance for the social being. It is guidance for the human being who understand they have to connect with other people. It is the same guidance that allowed man to go out into the galaxies and explore the entire creation. He goes to the Quran, he learns about what does Allah say about the sun, what does Allah say about the heaven. I'm not talking about the Jannah paradise. We're talking about what's above you. The guidance to go into the ocean. That's why they discovered. They said Jacques Cousteau, they discovered after reading the Quran where it said there was an invisible barrier that separated the salt water from the fresh water. There was an invisible barrier. They could not see it. But they was guided to go into the water, into the depths of the water, and discovered there's a barrier that keeps those through bodies of water from merging together. Huda Linas, guidance for man, guidance for the social being, guidance for the connecting being. So he said he sent this messenger with guidance and Deen al-Haq, the way of truth. And I tell you, some of the greatest lies came through religion. That's why you read the Quran and said that Isa was Isa ibn Maryam. Why would Allah make it clear that Jesus is the son of Mary? Because others through religion have said Jesus was the son of God. Yeah, so Jesus is the son of God. And that crippled many people in America. And those lies caused great harm to those who were not Caucasian, who had been told they're from the family of God. That's a lie. And that lie made people feel that they were inferior and less than other people. And that's what lies do. Lies make you to develop a false identity of who you are. So the truth had to be told that no, Allah said, Isa ibn Maryam, that is the truth. Isa is the son of Mary, not the son of God. And all through the Quran, Allah clears that up. He goes into Ikhlas, make it clear that he begets not, nor is he begotten, and there is none like unto him. An entire small but powerful surah that speaks to the truth of who Isa was. That said, Allah, he begets not, nor is he begotten, doesn't give birth, wasn't born, there's none like unto him. Khalas means it's over. The purity khalas is over. That's the clear truth. So he said he sent his messenger with guidance and the religion, the way of truth. And he said that Muhammad the prophet said that, and he has brought you the truth, but most of you hate the truth. And most people hate the truth because they've been conditioned to reject the truth, because if those people who have been locked up with lies, if they're told the truth, then it begins to affect someone else's economy. Do you understand that? When people are woke up to truth, it causes problems with other people. So there's an ongoing campaign to feed lies so people can never see the reality of how the world operates. And we have brought you the truth, but most of you hate the truth. Now, how can someone be conditioned to hate the truth when in fact the truth is designed to work for you? You know, I love that movie. I tell you over and over again where it said, I want to know the truth. You see, you can't handle the truth. And a lot of people can't handle the truth because with the truth comes responsibility. Truth means you have to live a certain way. With the truth comes honor, dignity, and character. I don't want to be around people with lives that are consumed with lies and deceit and falsehood, because it's going to affect the flow of energy. Because now trust is going to be a questionable situation. Because when you have truth, there's trust that comes in. So we talked about that last time. The power of truth and how Allah should be governed by the truth. So here's the verse in the Quran where Allah says clearly, it is He who created for you everything in the earth. That's powerful. He said that He created everything in the earth for you. Do you understand your position in His creation? Where Allah says everything in the heavens and the earth, it renders a useful utility to you. That Allah said He made you male and female. He made you the master in His creation. Now, if people are taught that, it'll free people from all kind of addictions. That's why people are in bondage with drugs and alcohol, because they've been lied to in terms of what their power is. They don't believe they can break free. They've been lied in terms of what their worth and power is as a human being. Now, Allah said He created everything in the heavens and the earth for you. Not to put you in bondage, but for you to use it as a tool to advance your life. It is He who has created everything in the earth for you. Now the truth has to be told in terms of what is my identity. Your identity is that everything is supposed to be under your power, your charge. Now, some people are told that. That's why they break through in science, they break through in technology, because they've been told that this is designed to work for you. They've been taught that. They've been given that truth that this is under your power. Well, others have been told that they just follow. And you wait for other people to lead you. There's nowhere in the world the Muslim is ever supposed to accept the idea that he's following the world. Because Allah said that the Quran is guidance for the world. And if the Quran is guidance for the world and you follow what the messenger delivered in terms of guidance and the religion of truth, then you're supposed to be leading the world. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. Now that's the truth. The truth is that Allah said He created everything for you. That it's under your charge. That you are, as Allah says, the Khalifa. You know what the Khalifa is? The Khalifa, yes, is the ruler in the creation. The Khalifa is the master in the creation. But the Khalifa is also one who comes behind others who already paved the way. They've already broke through. They've already not just positioned, but they've repositioned themselves after they've gotten off course. It's like when there's snow outside. And when there's snow outside, somebody got to first start the path. Right? You go out there, the snow is high, but over time, as people begin to keep walking, you can walk right through. But the people that came before you, they got their feet wet. Right? The snow was all the way up to their knees. But over time, as more begin to walk through, then the snow goes down and others can just move right through smoothly. They're coming behind those who already broke through. But He said He created all of this in the earth for you. That means that we should be thankful for the position Allah gave us. Can you imagine that? That everything in this entire creation has not been created for the birds. Everything in His entire creation has not been created for lions and tigers. Everything in the creation has not been created for the sun itself, as powerful as it is. But He said He created everything in the earth for you. That's why when Allah, when Imam Muhammad said that Allah made you a Muslim and placed you in a Muslim. See, he made you a Muslim, submitting your will to him, and then made the entire creation a Muslim that submits to you. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. That's a powerful position to be in. When you have that awareness, when you have that truth in your mind, that he made you a Muslim and you submit your will to him, you work to do his will. And then he made the sun, moon, stars, and everything else to submit to your will where you can work it and advance the world. That's why you have so much progress in the world. You have progress in the world because some people realize that that is designed to come under my will. In medicine, in science, in technology, they found ways to make life better because they realize all of this is under my charge. That they've been given the idea that I am a powerful being. And because I'm a powerful being, I see myself as having worth. And if I see myself as having worth, then I work to preserve that worth. I'm going to protect this worth. This worth is valuable because Allah said he created all of it for me. Now, if he created all of this for you and I, then we have to be in a position to get the maximum benefit from what he created, which is designed to serve our interests and our needs. It is he who has created for you all things that are on the earth. You're a powerful being. You're a powerful being with an abundance of skill, resources, and gifts that the world needs. That's why Allah says he asks a question. He make it clear. We have not created that which is in the heavens and the earth in sport and play. This creation is serious. The business of living is serious. And that's why Allah tells us in the Quran that he is Maliki Yawmuddin. So you live your life, he gave you life, you have opportunity, you have resources, relationships, you can master and benefit from the creation. But he says that he is Maliki Yawmuddin. Do you understand what that means? As you live your life, as you progress in the world, as you do things with people, he says now over time, you're going to be judged as to how you use that life. He's Maliki Yawmuddin. Now you've lived your life. Sometimes you're doing good, sometimes you're doing bad. Sometimes you're struggling. Sometimes you fall short, you turn to Allah because you needed strength. That's why we turn to him. There's no perfect being. There's no flawless being. That's why we turn to him. For aid, for strength, for forgiveness, to release the psychological burden of guilt and shame that we may be carrying in our lives. No perfect being, no flawless creature, but a growing creature who wants to work to get better. But he said that he is the master of the day of judgment. And not only is he a master of the day of judgment, but this word deen that we've been talking about, it also means debt. See, he created all this for you. He created your life and everything in the earth to fulfill your life. But he also says now after you've done that, you've lived your life. He said he's Maliki Yawmuddin. He is the master of the day when you will have to pay your debt. Don't you know you owe a debt to Allah? Look at what Allah did for you. He gave you life. And then he told you, when he gave you life, everything in this life, he created for you. Don't you owe him something? That's why he says he's master of the day of judgment. Master of the day that you're going to pay your debt for how you lived your life. That means that as we realize living this life, we have to live with the sense of accountability. It's not sport and play. We don't just abuse people, disrespect people, kill people unjustifiably, have bitterness and rage towards people, envy and jealousy towards. No. Because then we're missing the path that Allah has willed into existence. Prophet Muhammad clearly tells us, here's some life lessons, right? Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says this. It's very powerful, simple, but it's powerful, and it's a principle for living. I find the hadith is a principle for living. Very simple. Here's what Prophet Muhammad said. When you understand your creation, and you understand how Allah willed all this into existence, and these are principles to live by. And it's very simple, it's very fundamental. He said, do not hate one another. Do not be jealous of one another. And do not boycott one another. And be servants of Allah as brothers and sisters to one another. And it is unlawful for a Muslim that he should sever his relationship with his brother for more than 3 days. Let's look at this hadith. Why would Prophet Muhammad say, do not hate one another? We talked about your creation. You understand Allah created you. He gave you a pattern to follow. He gave your life purpose. Your life has meaning. Your life is not insignificant. And if you understand that Allah has already given you, when He created you, He gave you everything you would need for your life, that means you should come to a level of being comfortable with the life that Allah gave you. He's Al Hadi, He's the creator. He doesn't create by accident, He creates by design. And when you come into that awareness He creates by design, and you come to the level of you're comfortable with your life. And if you're comfortable with your life, how in the world are you going to hate another human being? Because see, what hate does, the aim of hate is to literally wipe out the person that the hate is aimed towards. Whether you wipe them out physically, whether you wipe them out emotionally, what hate is designed to destroy. It's going to destroy a relationship. It's going to destroy a business. Hate is a destroyer. So Prophet Muhammad said, look here, don't hate one another. How you going to have a community and grow as decent, evolving, growing human beings if you hate each other? If you understand that your life is powerful, meaningful, and significant, you can't be consumed by hate. Because hate is a destroyer. It's not a preserver. He said, and do not hate one another. And then he said, and don't be jealous of one another. We're talking about your creation now. If you understand that the Lord has created you and then said that now everything is designed to serve you, how are you going to be jealous of another human being? See, because jealousy has everything to do with your insecurities. If you come into the awareness that Allah gave me life, my life has meaning, my life has purpose, and I'm on an assignment from Allah, there's nowhere in the world you can be comfortable being jealous of another human being. If that's how Allah created that human being, if that is what Allah gave that human being, how can you be jealous if you say you believe in Allah? Envy, jealous, hate, those are destroyers of life. And you can't progress in the world being consumed by hate. In fact, hate is one of the tools of the devil. You understand that? One of the tools that Shaitan used is hate. Muhammad the Prophet said that you should not be jealous of one another. And don't boycott one another. How in the world are we going to be blocking, putting together groups of people to go against somebody else, to not support somebody? You can't grow a community like that. You can't grow a healthy world being consumed by the ideas. I don't like you. And that because I don't like you, I'm gonna start a group of people and promote them and tell them not to do business with you. Prophet Muhammad said, peace upon him, don't boycott one another. But he clearly says after that, just be servants of Allah as brothers to one another. That's where we have to get to, the level of being servants of Allah. And the servant of Allah is working to improve life. I love the quote of Frederick Douglass when he says, it is easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men. It's easier. The environment hasn't worked on the children. The children is fertile, waiting for somebody to shape them. He said that's an easy process to raise strong children than it is to repair the person who is consumed by hate, than it is to repair the person who is consumed by jealousy. It's a difficult challenge to repair. That's why Prophet Muhammad said that all you do is better that you be servants of God, working for the renovation and elevation of man. That's why you have to perceive the masjid as Beitul Nasr. You know, Beitul Nasr is the house of help. And I told you before, people come to the masjid, right? Just like they go to church. No, I didn't mean like they go to church. I mean just like they go to the hospital. They go to the hospital because they want to feel better. You remember before we talked about the symptoms, the diagnosis, and the prognosis? See, people go to the hospital because they got a sign. Here's a symptom that says, here's a lump, here's a bad feeling, here's a bad state of mind, I lost my balance. I got to pay attention to this. Something's going on. That sign is an indication that says, pay attention. So people come to the masjid just like they go to the hospital. I want to get out of pain. Can you help me get out of pain? I'm in emotional pain. I'm in spiritual pain. I'm in psychological pain. I'm also in financial pain. And I need help. So when they go to the hospital, the doctor put them through a series of questions. See, once you discover the symptom, there's a series of how long have you been feeling like this? How long have you noticed this? You know, how is your balance? How are you eating? All of these questions are designed to take you to the depths of what is the cause. Why are you feeling this way? And if you don't pay attention to the symptom, I told you before, then you're going to move to another level of the illness where a diagnosis is going to take place. And if you don't pay attention to the diagnosis and work on getting better, it's going to move on to what they call prognosis. And prognosis means if you don't work to correct this, in 6 months from now, you can be a major tragic. A tragic situation. That's why Allah says in the Quran that there's signs within yourself, within your own body. And there's signs in the creation, but the signs are for men and women with understanding. Most people miss the signs. They don't pay attention to the signs. And then over time, those signs escalate. And that's what we find in society. People just see the signs and don't even pay attention to them. See the signs and just walk by them because that's how life is. You know, it is what it is. And it is what it is. It suggests that you're saying there's nothing we can do about this. But Prophet Muhammad, according to the Quran, Allah said that Prophet Muhammad is a warner and a good news bringer. We got to warn people. We say this is Beit Nasa house of help. We have to warn and help one another. They said to Prophet Muhammad, he said, help your brother whether he's right or wrong. Oh, yes, Prophet Muhammad, we know how we can help him if he's right. But how can we help him if he's wrong? You can help him by pulling him back from the wrong. That will be your help to him. And we have to help one another. Help each other become better. Help each other become better human beings so we can begin to work to repair the wounded souls. There's a term called the walking wounded. And the walking wounded have these deep scars that you can't see. They're wounded, they're troubled. And if they don't get a grip on the wound of doing just like the doctor did, asking themselves, how did I get into this state? If they don't begin to question the wounds other than trying to just cover the wound up without treating the wound, because that's what the hate is. The hate is a wound. The jealousy is a wound. And if we don't treat the wound, it can escalate to something, tragic. There's a verse in the Quran where I read the verse where it says that to kill a life is like killing a whole group of people. And to save a life is like saving a whole group of people. Showing you the influence of one person. The influence of one person can lift up a whole group of people. Or the spirit of one person can take that group down. To kill a life is like killing a whole group of people. And I watch, for the last week I watched in California, I watched the spirit of a group of people who had been touched by tragedy. You probably saw it on the news. One of the young brothers probably saw it particularly on the news. Of the young brother, Nipsey Hussle. See, like saving one person is like saving a group. And if you study that whole situation, pain and tragedy, because that's what hate does. Hate makes you just have no regard for life. They said in the Staples Center, over 21,000 people. I'm just talking to you about influence. And we pray, Allah, that something good can come from that experience. That it will be for some people a learning moment and a teaching moment for others. Where young people who have the vision to say, I want to do better. I want to redirect my energy and work to repair, inspire life. That there's a possibility of coming up and doing better. But when you work to do that, there are other forces that's working to wipe you out. That's why I told you, Prophet Muhammad said, do not hate one another. Because hate is a destroyer of life. But the verse says, to save a life is like saving a whole people. That shows you the influence that one person can lift up a group of people. And we have to use our influence. We said the very life Allah gave you is a valuable life. And one thing we have to learn, we will inshallah be going into Ramadan. And one thing Ramadan teaches us is a powerful principle. The verse says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum tattaqun. Oh, you who believe, fasting is prescribed to you. We've been talking about the prescription now. The symptoms, here's the prescription to alleviate some of these symptoms. It has been prescribed to you as it has been prescribed to those before you, meaning it's not a new institution. But it can help you to grow and evolve, because the whole purpose of the fast is to help you to grow in the awareness of preserving life as you preserve the relationship you have with Allah. Now here's the key point I want to mention in this surah. The word Siyam, you know what that word means? I know you've been told that the word Siyam means to fast, but the word Siyam means to stop. See, most people find it very difficult to stop. To stop hating, to stop killing, to stop just giving into all their urges, where they become consumed and become slaves. The word Siyam means to stop. And if you're not able to stop, you're in bondage. Your power is realized in how you can say no to that. So Allah said fasting has been prescribed. Here's the prescription. And all you have to do is learn this principle of being able to stop. And most people are just going. They're just going. And they're going in such a way that they're not even thinking about what they're going towards. That's why I gave you before. What did Sprite say? Just do it. In other words, don't think about it. Just do it. No. Oh, Nike. Sprite said, obey your thirst. Thank you for that. Sprite said, obey your thirst. Just give in. Both of those, if you don't watch it, can be very, very detrimental. Because just do it means don't think about it, just do it. Now, if you hear that over and over and over and over again, you just start impulsively moving on the ideal of just do it. And then you just do it without even awareness of there are some consequences to what I'm doing. Now, if you got weak people who are constantly fed the ideal of just doing it, when something happens, just do it, don't think about it. And I will tell you, that young brother in California didn't think that thing through. Didn't think it through. Traumatic. Tragedy. Pain, but from that pain can come growth. From that pain can come growth. Let's take a pause as we make this dua. ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Yes, assalamu alaikum. So that's the major principle that we learn in the month of fasting, that we learn to stop. I remember a good friend of mine wrote a song many, many years ago. He talked about these two principles, stop and start. In fact, he said, I only stop so we can start all over again. You gotta stop. Here's a reset. If you don't stop, you just keep going. There's no room for contemplation. There's no room for reflecting. If you're going to repair your life, you got to stop and pause. That's why Allah talks in the Quran about ponder. Whole idea of dhikr is a, hold up, ponder. Think about this. And we find young people that just moving strictly on emotion. That's why last week we talked about the first stage of development, nasul amana, just moving on biological passions and desires. And the fast teaches us to get a grip on appetite, to get a grip on passion, to get a grip on desire. Because if you have no power to stop, the train just keeps going and it becomes collision. So Allah says fasting is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you. Stopping has been prescribed to you. Stopping. That's why when you take the prescription, you can't do it the way you want to do it. You won't get better. If Allah said He prescribed it for you, sun up to sundown, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. And He gives you power, He gives you the discipline to grow and evolve, to master your urges, to master your emotions. So now the emotion that used to work against you, those emotions work for you. Fasting has been prescribed to you, stopping. That's what Siyam is, halting. That's a prescription. Because everything in America is go, go, go. Not just go, but go fast. Everything is instant. Everything is quick. Microwave, instant this, and it's poor quality. Because it's not given the time to develop, to mature. So Allah says stopping is prescribed to you. I said fasting, the word siyam means to stop. Stopping is prescribed to you. And when we learn to stop, we're going to have more control over our lives. And that's the lesson we have to share. Oh, you got to stop that. You have the power to stop. And as you begin to use that power, you begin to exercise more of the process of cleansing your soul. Allah says, "Qad aflaha min zakaha." And he is successful who purifies his soul. The word that is used there is zakat. That you got to cleanse your spirit. To get the bitterness, to get the hate, to get the envy, to get the jealousy out your soul. A lot of people cleanse their cars, they cleanse their clothes, they cleanse everything, but they don't cleanse inside their spirit. And they have all these toxins. If you don't get the toxins out your body, then over time, those toxins build up in this blockage. Your arteries are blocked so the life can't flow. And when there's blockage, there's illness. When there's blockage, there's pain. You have to remove the blockage so the life can flow. That's why you get your oil change. You know, when you get your oil change, your car seems to run a little smoother. But when you start to cleanse your heart and get that bitterness out your soul and get that anger out your soul and get that hate out your soul, you begin to feel better because the life flow of energy is circulating all throughout your body. And because it's circulating all throughout your body, it comes out and you bond with another human being. And then you bond with another human being. Why? Why? Because there's no blockage. That's why most people get sick, because there's blockage. The life flow is not moving. That's why in the Quran, Allah talks about the garden with rivers flowing beneath. He said the paradise is going to be life because there's rivers moving. And if the water does not move, they call it dead water, it's polluted. In order for that life to grow, evolve, it has to move. So we thank Allah, highly glorified He, for allowing us to have life. And we're going to work to preserve that life. And we're going to give, we're going to help one another. We're going to give to the Masjid so the Masjid is strong enough to do its job of repairing troubled souls. He said it was easier to raise strong children than it is to repair broken men. We got a lot of broke men. And anything that's broke, it loses its potency. It still can run, but it ain't powerful. It's not powerful enough to take its rightful position in the society to advance the world. Peace be unto you. Assalamu alaikum.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salah, hayya ala falah.